the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Most Holy Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, I adore you profoundly. I offer you the most precious body, blood, soul, and divinity of Jesus Christ, present in all the tabernacles of the world, in reparation for the outrages, sacrileges, and indifferences by which he is offended, by the infinite merits of the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Immaculate Heart of Mary, I beg for the conversion of poor sinners. Amen.
Day 6. Today's message of Mother Mary is taken from number 546 of the book To the Priest, Our Lady's Beloved Sons. Tongues of fire. Gather together in an extraordinary cynicle of prayer, made with me, beloved children. You are celebrating today the solemnity of Pentecost. I found myself gathered together with the apostles and disciples in the Cynicle of Jerusalem, when the miracle of the descent of the Holy Spirit took place, under the form of tongues of fire. And I saw with joy the miracle of their complete transformation. Timid and fearful as they had been, they came forth from the cynical, courageous, and introvert witnesses of Jesus and of his gospel. In the spiritual cynicle of my Immaculate Heart, the miraculous event of the second Pentecost must now be accomplished, implored and expected by you. Again there will descend upon the Church and upon all humanity miraculous tongues of fire. Tongues of divine fire will bring heat and life to a humanity which has now become cold from egotism and hatred, from violence and wars. Thus, the parched earth will be opened to the breath of the Spirit of God, which will transform it into a new and wondrous garden in which the Most Holy Trinity will make its permanent dwelling place among you. Tongues of fire will come down to enlighten and sanctify the Church, which is living through the dark hour of Calvary and being stricken in her pastors, wounded in the flock, abandoned and betrayed by her own, exposed to the impetuous wind of error, pervaded with the loss of faith and with apostasy. The divine fire of the Holy Spirit will heal her of every malady, will purify her of every stain and every infidelity, will clothe her again in new beauty, will cover her with His splendor in such a way that she may be able to find again all her unity and holiness, and will thus give to the world her full, universal, and perfect witness to Jesus. Tongues of fire will come down upon you all, my poor children, so ensnared and seduced by Satan and by all the evil spirits who, during these years, have attained their greatest triumph, and thus you will be illuminated by this divine light, and you will see your own selves in a mirror of the truth and the holiness of God. It will be like a judgment in miniature, which will open the door of your heart to receive the great gift of divine mercy. And then the Holy Spirit will work the new miracle of universal transformation in the heart and the life of all. Sinners will be converted, the weak will find support, the sick will receive healing, those far away will return to the house of the Father, those separated and divided will attain full unity. In this way, the miracle of the second Pentecost will take place. It will come with triumph on my immaculate heart in the world. Only then will you see how the tongues of fire of the Spirit of love will renew the whole world, which will become completely transformed by the greatest manifestation of divine mercy. And so I invite you to spend this day in the cenacle, gathered together in prayer with me, Mother of Mercy, in a hope and trembling expectation of the second Pentecost, now close at hand.
Virgin of Fatima,
Mother of mercy, Queen of heaven and earth, refuge of sinners, we who belong to the Marian movement of priests consecrate ourselves in a very special way to your Immaculate Heart. By this act of consecration, we intend to live with you and through you all the obligations assured by our baptismal consecration. We further pledge to bring about in ourselves that interior conversion so urgently demanded by the Gospel, a conversion that will free us of every attachment to ourselves and to easy compromises with the world, so that, like you, we may be available only to do always the will of the Father. And as we resolve to entrust to you, O Mother most sweet and merciful, our life and vocation as Christians, that you may dispose of it according to your designs of salvation, in this hour of decision that weighs upon the world, we pledge to live it according to your desires, especially as it pertains to renewed spirit of prayer and penance, the fervent participation in the celebration of the Eucharist, and in the works of the apostolate, the daily recitation of the Holy Rosary, and an austere manner of life in keeping with the Gospel, that shall be to all a good example of the observance of the law of God and the practice of the Christian virtues, especially that of purity. We further promise you to be united with the Holy Father, with the hierarchy, and with the priests, in order thus to set up a barrier to the growing confrontation direct against the magisterium that threatens the very foundation of the Church. Under your protection, we want moreover to be apostles of this sorely needed unity of prayer and love for the Pope, on whom we invoke your special protection. And lastly, insofar as it is possible, we promise to lead those souls with whom we come in contact to a renewed devotion to you, mindful that atheism has caused shipwreck in the faith to a great number of the faithful, that desecration has entered into the holy temple of God, that evil and sin are spreading more and more throughout the world. We may make so bold as to lift our eyes trustingly to you, O Mother of Jesus, and our merciful and powerful Mother, and we invoke again today and await from you the salvation of all your children. O clement, O loving, O sweet Virgin Mary.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.